What's up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Today was crazy. Crazy day up on Capitol Hill. Gary Gensler gets the grill. Before we get into the news, check it out. We got the green background. It's an up day, baby. And we still have 2 hours, 22 minutes, but we are bullish engulfing on the day so far. So let's hope we can continue this pump to the upside. What we are noticing here right now, we're up 2%. We did end up breaking on that 4-hour situation we talked about yesterday. If price breaks above the 50 exponential moving average and the 14 exponential moving average, we could see a move to the upside. It was a nice move for sure. And for those of you guys watching going, wait a minute, it didn't go anywhere. Well, that's okay because you're a long-term holder and we love to have you here. By the way, if you are a day trader, if you make day trades, let me know down in the bottom, 777 if you're a day trader, if you ever make active day trades. If you are a long-term hodl, let me know down in the comments, HODL, HODL. So back to the daily, long-term hodls, day traders, it doesn't matter. We're looking for that surge back up to the 55-cent level. We're currently sitting at 52.14. 52.14, looking for that 55 cents. That's going to be our next break level. Very exciting to get there. We do even have, when we go into our Heikinashi candles here on the daily charts, you can see these are our breakout levels that we've been waiting for. We are now above the breakout level here, which was a really exciting one to break above 0.509, basically 51 cents. We have now established that pretty solidly as a support. Now, if we lose this 14 exponential moving average on the daily, which we've been talking about now for, well, since April 3rd, so a very long time, that has continued to hold support, which is very exciting. It is rounding off a little. So we're going to see, does it continue its pump over the next couple of days? So stick with us. Obviously, you're here now. We do have a couple of signs of weakness. We had a short signal indicator from Market Liberator. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so none of this information is financial advice. Don't buy or sell because we talk about it. There is a signal from Market Liberator indicating that there's a potential short. The short entry is right here at 0.52046. And it's saying that its take profit is all the way down here at 0.43854. So we'll continue to follow that. Now, there is a contradictory to that right now on a larger time frame, the weekly time frame. There's a buy signal. So that one says it's going to be getting up to that 64-cent level. And then, as you all know, we've been tracking for a very long time. Our weekly move to the upside potential here, 77.5 cents, 0.775. So that's very exciting if we can get these breakout levels out of the way, right? So we did break out above that peak with a wick, unfortunately rejected there again. Now we need to see that break with a body close. Then we can look for that continuation. But for now, we have the daily is looking like it's wanting to give way to the downside. Doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily like crash and burn back to 25 cents. But the reality is it could just come down for a reset, or it could continue trading sideways like we saw down here. It just has this new level, trade sideways, waits for this 50 exponential moving average to get there, reloads, then makes the move up. One or the other is going to happen, but price is going to either fall back and take profits here, or the moving average is going to meet it by it just trading sideways. So we'll keep a very close eye on that, obviously. Now let's jump over into the exciting news. What happened today? Gary Gensler was grilled up on Hill, and let's get over to that. All right, so here we have Gary Gensler, and we have Algorand promoter and SEC chairman Gary Gensler's testimony today, and they got him dressed up as a clown in this meme here from Whale Chart. Pretty funny there. As you guys know, we talked about this extensively yesterday in yesterday's video called Gary Gensler fired, ? Is Gary Gensler going to be fired, or are they just going to let him finish out his term? After today's horrible show by Gary Gensler, it is possible that they get rid of him altogether before the end of his term. And here we have Mr. McHenry, the chairman, grilling Mr. Gary Gensler to kick things off. So let's take a look.
5 minutes. Ether is one of the most popular digital assets and powers the Ethereum blockchain. Back in 2018, then SEC Corporation Finance Director Bill Hinman stated that he believed Ether was not a security. Last month, CFTC Chair Benham expressed his view that Ether is a commodity. The State Attorney General of New York asserted in a court filing last month that Ether is a security. Clearly, an asset cannot be both a commodity and a security. Do you agree?
Actually, all securities are commodity under the Commodity and Exchange Act. It's that we are excluded commodities, but I would agree that a security cannot be also an excluded commodity and an included commodity. I'm sorry, Chair, just to talk about the Commodity Exchange Act more precisely.
Okay, so do you recognize, how would you categorize Ether then?
I think that the general sweep of what Congress did, not just in the 30s, but as amended.
I'm asking you, sitting in your chair now, to make an assessment under the laws as exist. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
Without speaking to anyone.
I know you've repeatedly said you're not going to speak to one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin. So I'm asking you to speak to a second one, the second largest market cap here.
And speaking to the tokens, there's 10 to 12,000. If there's a group of entrepreneurs,
I'm asking about one.
The public is anticipating a profit based on the.
I'm asking a specific question, Chair Gensler. I said this in private. This should be no shock to you. I'm asking this question: is Ether a commodity or a security?
And again, it depends on the facts and the law. And if there's a group of individuals,
I'm asking about the facts and the law, sitting in your seat and the judgment you are making.
And so, Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge, because I'm also.
But you have prejudged on this. You've taken 50 enforcement actions. We're finding out as we go, as you file suit, as people get Wells notices on what is a security.
So the one thing is exciting, right? They got Gary Gensler. They're going to ask him some great questions. But as we know on Capitol Hill, a lot of times it's just a lot of show. These people are actors. They don't really care about getting Gensler or anything like that. So we'll see what happens, what comes out. We do have a pretty good synopsis real quickly from John Deaton, who goes over some information about the securities information and what is going on in this actual hearing. So in this, the question is ETH a security or a commodity? And if you guys remember, the reason that I'm harping on this right now, and you guys may be wondering, but this is about, where's XRP information? This is about XRP because it's the fact that the SEC is trying to sue Ripple and eliminate XRP as an opportunity here for us to be using. It's going to be called a security, and it could be a really, really big problem for us, to where XRP is in trouble and who knows what happens to it, right? So we want Ripple to win that case so that we know that it is a commodity, not a security. But the thing is, they keep on asking about ETH. And remember, there's this big scenario about ETHgate, okay? So Gary Gensler and some of the other big wigs, they all believe in ETH, right? They've supported ETH. They want ETH to be the top dog other than Bitcoin. So obviously, they would not want XRP to be out there in the marketplace. If they could eliminate it, it would help them. It's like how monopolies, right? So ETH could be a monopoly and take over everything. But here's a really great response from John Deaton.
The other thing, the number one thing that I took away from this hearing on specific questions that should absolutely scare the living shit out of everyone involved in crypto is the following. It was an open-ended question by Maxine Waters, where she just playing the partisan hack that she played in today's hearing, where she said questions like, do you have authority to regulate the crypto market? And of course he said yes. But she said, I want you to follow up your answer about what is a crypto. And this is what he said. He said, if there's a website, that's indication. If it is software that needs to be upgraded, that is an indication of a security. If there are lawyers who have been hired to come in to meet with us, that is an indication of a security because there's a small group of entrepreneurs involved. Just think about that for a second. The man has been saying for 2 years, come in and talk to us. Come in and talk to us. Now he's saying, if you come in and talk to him and you hired lawyers to do it, that indicates that you have a security. He literally said that today at the hearing. And then he also threw out, if there's Twitter accounts, So think about that. Website, Twitter accounts is upgraded, software being upgraded. So what's that tell you about what his thoughts are of Ethereum? He won't answer it, people, but you know clearly, meeting his definition, Bitcoin would be implicated. I'm not saying he's saying that. I'm just telling you, if you listen to what he said, wasn't there a Bitcoin Taproot software upgrade? Doesn't Bitcoin get upgraded? Ethereum upgrade, the Shanghai that just happened? All of those things indicate what we warned at Crypto Law a year and a half ago. Every single token is in danger with this guy.
So John Deaton takes it even a step farther than what I'm saying, right? So in my personal opinion, I think that there's a select few that the big cats have that they're not going to get rid of. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I could be completely wrong. They may make all cryptos go to zero. But what we do know, and as he covered right here, this is even way worse than what we all thought. If there's a website connected to a coin, if there is a lawyer connected to a coin, meaning that they want to go in. And how about what he mentioned here, the honeypot that was set up, the SEC waving out this big neon lights, right? Hey guys, come on in and talk to us. If you would like to work here in the United States as a legal cryptocurrency company, just come in and say hi. Let us know what you're doing, register with us, and let us know what your ideas are. What are you going to be doing, right? And so all of these companies are like, wow, let's go in there. We're freaking free. This is great. Let's go over there. Let's talk to them. They go in, they talk to them. And then what does that do? That automatically puts you on a list to get sued by the SEC. Absolutely crazy. All right. And then in more news here, we do know right now, Coinbase, right? Coinbase was approved by the SEC to go public with an IPO. And right now, just in, Coinbase to consider leaving the U.S. if regulatory clarity doesn't emerge, CEO says. And this is a really, really bad situation for Coinbase and also for a lot of regular people that are getting into crypto because Coinbase was the entry. But I did also have a video on this. And here is Mr. Davidson asking Gensler questions as well.
Chairman Gensler, your record of failures to protect investors and abuses of power make it clear that we need to restructure the Securities and Exchange Commission. The failures are many, but let me cite some of the abuses. You average more than 2 rules proposals a month. You provide inappropriately short comment periods. You have unworkable and unlawful ESG disclosure mandates on the market. You have essentially a Hotel California rule for crypto where you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave. You have endless discovery with no resolution and no clarity for the captives in the market. You have unworkable proposals for overhauling equity market structure, a de facto ban on crypto through proposed custody rule. You have high staff turnover, unhappy people leaving your office, and unhappy companies and capital leaving our country. To correct a long series of abuses, I'm introducing legislation that removes the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission and replaces the role with an executive director that reports to the board where all authority would reside. Former chairs of the SEC will be ineligible under my proposed bill. And this isn't just my take. It resonates across the political spectrum. The American people want democratic access to capital, retail investor participation. You can't just exclude retail investors from markets and claim it's for their own good. Our markets need to function and flourish, and I yield back.
And then we'll jump over the charts here in a second. So we just covered the Deaton situation. We covered the fact that XRP is in basically the fight to the death for all of crypto right now. Ripple, the company. We need Ripple to win. All right. So we need Ripple to win the case. Just in Coinbase to consider leaving the U.S. if regulatory clarity does not emerge soon. And what I was talking about there is they were approved by the SEC to go with their exact system of business. And then on the back end, we know that they got popped by the SEC for selling unregistered securities. And Coinbase is like, what are you talking about? You guys already approved us for that. So now they're upset. They may be leaving. And then Ben Armstrong over here, he's talking about, I'm sorry, Democrats, crypto has become a partisan issue. And what's weird is it should not be a partisan issue. But on Capitol Hill today, it was obvious that it's a political issue now. So the left is against crypto. All the people were basically petting Gary Gensler on the head for the lefties. And then the people on the right side of the aisle, they're for crypto. They're fighting like hell to get it approved. Choose wisely. I'm a one-issue voter, point blank, period. You come for my money and my livelihood, and you're going to get wrecked. I'm going to expose these libs. So now, obviously, our channel, we are politically unbiased. We cover everything crypto. We don't cover any scenarios when it comes to stuff going on with Republican. And looking at XRP, this is the 1 hour charts. Came down, had a nice dip here on the 1 hour. But again, look at even on the 1 hours, maintaining really strong above that 14 exponential moving average. I like to say on every time frame, the 14 exponential average is kind of like that safety net. If it breaks below it, as we've seen here, it can end up going to the downside. Look, right? So it broke below it, stayed below it, stayed below it. And then it tried and tried and tried, finally broke above, and then look, it started moving to the upside. And that's the orange line there, the 14 exponential moving average. So keep that one in mind. But yeah, so on the daily, as we know, XRP having a nice surge today, bullish, engulfing for sure. We've got 1 hour, 38 minutes left to go to close. It very likely could even run up a little higher. What's interesting, a really strong level of resistance is going to be the body of these candles here. That's at 53 cents. We already know that it's run up to resistance up here a couple of times at 54,880. That's that breakout level that we talked about from here. So that's what we're looking for. We have some overhead resistance on the way, but if we break those and continue the move to the upside, there's some really exciting information ahead. 77 cents supply and demand zone on that weekly chart there. So we'll keep a very close eye